Manchester United have a very difficult schedule coming up ahead of them. This takes them all the way up to December 2nd, and you can just see how tough some of those games are across all competitions. We're hearing, Jules, that of these 3 upcoming games before the international break, Solskjaer needs good results in all of them if he's to keep his job. What do we know?
Striker, this was the decision made by the people at the top of the club, Joel Glazer, Ed Woodward, Arnold, Sir Alex Ferguson, who was also involved in making that decision, and all the people who take those decisions at Manchester United to keep Solskjaer for now. I guess the timing, with especially the next 3 big games coming, Spurs on Saturday, then Atalanta in Bergamo in midweek next week in the Champions League, and then obviously the derby against City the following weekend, and then it's the international break, and then it's probably a better time if you want to get rid of him, if that's what you want, if the results have not improved, and bring in someone else instead of doing it now where you've got those big games coming up so quickly. So they decided to keep him for now. He took training today. So Alex Ferguson was at Carrington at the training ground today. Spoke to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the players as well. Solskjaer also saw his players for a long time in the dressing room, I'm being told. I guess to try to bring a bit of serenity back within the club, not just the dressing room, but everybody, and try to work towards the game at Spurs, where they won last season, for example. They usually do well away from home, certainly better than at home. So I guess that gives them maybe a bit of hope. But it's such a huge game on Saturday, because if it's another spanking, even if they decided to give him 3 games, if they get battered again on Saturday, then I'm not sure what you could do next, if you can even afford to wait until the international break.
Stevie, what do you think of a situation like this, where Manchester United are briefing journalists on what is going to happen, and there's not even a successor lined up yet?
No, can I just say, though, I absolutely hate the fact that Ferguson is at Carrington today.
Why?
That's horrible. That looks really bad on the manager. That's almost like the teacher has come to remind the pupil of what to do. I think it's bad timing. Listen, if Fergie wants to go to Carrington, why don't you go after they've won 3 or 4 in the trot, which might be a while. But at the same time, you don't turn up when all this is going on. It makes it worse for Ole. It makes Ole... It diminishes Ole's role. Ole's supposed to be the man. Can you imagine Alex Ferguson when he was the manager at Manchester United, when they were having a bad run, and all of a sudden, Matt Busby comes trotting out onto the training field? Fergie would have gone absolutely ballistic. I don't like that at all. I tell you, that smells awful. And if I'm Ole, I'm disgusted with it. Now, if I'm Ole, if it's me, I've got something to say. But I just, again, the reason Ole's in the position he is because I don't think Ole actually gets worked up, loses his rag, goes crazy, tells people what he should and shouldn't be doing, because that's what he should be doing now. He should be telling Alex and whoever sent Alex down there, excuse me, we don't need you here. The same thing happened to Bob Paisley at Liverpool with Bill Shankly, and Bob Paisley made sure he didn't appear back again.
So it's not a show of support?
Absolutely not.
Is it something you'd agree with, Shaka, what Stevie's saying?
Absolutely. Listen, Stevie knows the sidelines and managing a football club as well as anybody. And absolutely, this is undermining of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in a way that he doesn't need right now, right when the microscope is on him. He doesn't need it. But to Stevie's point, Ole is not going to say anything. He's not that kind of person. He's the reason the Glazers hired him and seem to like him, because he's not going to rock the boat. He's not going to challenge his status quo as other managers have done. So, you know, if that's what you sign him for, that's what you get. But it doesn't help the situation.
You just wonder as well, when you see things like this, Jules, if Solskjaer's being told too much what to do, maybe there were players at the club that wouldn't have been his choice, but it's not his decision.
Yeah, you're right. And I think I agree with the boys on Fergie. I think if you look at Ferguson since he left his job as manager, and has been a big part of what this club has done in terms of who they appointed as manager, and certainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But we've also seen him, even in recent weeks. I mean, we saw his face at Old Trafford on Sunday when he knew there was a camera on him. Of course, there's always a camera on him. what he said about Ronaldo and not starting him when Ole left him that on the bench that day as well. A lot of things like this. We saw him talking in the stands to Usain Bolt and to Khabib as well. There's been a lot of undermining moments, if you think about it, really, in the last few weeks. And today is another one. And of course, he will also say that he backed Ole, and he's the reason why Ole is still in the job, because Fergie said we have to keep him, so they kept him. But I think the issues maybe go a bit deeper than just that.
What do you make of the whole situation, Frank?
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad for me to see that the father needs to come to see the son to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to back you up, and because you seems to be nowhere near it. I would be upset if I would be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but maybe that was his will. That's what he wants to see. Meaning he wants to see Sir Alex Ferguson coming to helping him. But I think all the situation, because we are talking about Manchester United at the end of the thing, it's very appalling what we see. It's a big club with a big history, and they are nowhere. They don't know what to do. They are making meetings, and they are facing 3 big games. Well, I guess against Tottenham they can do something, but they will face in Bergamo a team wants to have a revenge. Then they're gonna go through the derby. It might be a real nightmare within 2 weeks at Manchester United.
As Frank just said there, Stevie, Spurs away, Atalanta away, and then at Old Trafford for the Manchester derby. Do you think they can get at least a decent result from all 3 of these games?
Well, I think they can get a decent result against Spurs. Listen, Spurs at West Ham at the weekend. They could still have played the now, and West Ham could have been in the dressing room, and they still wouldn't have scored. So there's an opportunity there. Atalanta, again, there's an opportunity. Away from home, United have been good and got results. The problem is, you can go to Tottenham and win. You could probably go to Atalanta and win. But if you get beat 5 again by Man City, then those other 2 don't matter at all. He will be out the door, surely, if they get beat 5 by Man City, which is absolutely possible.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. And because we've seen this, we've said it time and time again. Whenever Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs a performance or result, he gets it.
Except for the weekend.
You can see that coming. No, you can see that coming. You can see that coming. They're going to go to Spurs and they're going to win. They're going to draw against Atalanta, and it's going to be a narrow loss against Manchester City. And then all of a sudden, during the international window, it'll be, look, things have turned around, and they competed with Manchester City, and it shows that Ole is turning things around, and you have to give him more time. And then they'll go and beat Watford and Villarreal, and all will be right again in the garden. And then all of a sudden, you go to Stamford Bridge, and we're back to where we are right now. That's what's going to happen. They are going to get results when they need it, just enough to turn the discussions around, and then right as everybody seems to be getting settled, they're going to get another result like we saw on the weekend. I guarantee it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.